Good evening, this is TB at TB's Cabin. I've been up on YouTube watching from hydrogen cars to magnet running motors and electric motors. Just wondering if anybody out there would have any idea how much these motors cost and where can you order them if you did want to build an electric car. I'm just trying to see how much the cost would be to build one. And to see which one is more efficient, because, like your electric motors, there's different kinds of electric motors. And to run a four-wheel drive pickup truck, what kind of motor or how much horse would that sucker have to put out to handle a half-ton truck, even, so for instance? Because I'm fixing to build one, if I can find an engine that is powerful enough to serve my needs and yet get me around cheaply, without having to buy a whole lot of gas and fuel. Now, I don't mind buying a gallon for the generator if you had to put a generator on board. I could do that. That's not an issue. But I'm just curious if any of y'all out there might have any ideas on such a thing, because some of y'all may have made electric motors or used them in autos already and have some experience beyond me on that. I'm a mechanical kind of mechanic. Back in the 60s and 60 models and 70 models, I could convert almost anything into where it worked. I put a Ford 429 down in a Chevrolet truck. Back in the day, gasoline engines were cheap then. I could get gas for 65 to 80 cents a gallon then. In 1980, it wasn't above a gallon. It wasn't above $1 a gallon. And I worked in the oil field back then, and whenever they shut Pacific Energies down, they capped a lot of oil wells up there in northeast Oklahoma with concrete, just filled them full, because they wanted to create a shortage of gasoline and oil, a shortage to raise the price. And it's just like right now, they're just price gouging the thunder out of us, see how far they can push the American people. Well, they've been getting the money out of us because we have to get to where we want to go. And we're not willing to give up driving. No, I'm not. That's the problem. But, if we all could give up driving even for 1 week, they'd be probably begging to sell us that gas if they run out of the storage capacity to be able to store the gas. They're complaining, they're saying that they can't keep enough gas on hand, so the demand is high, so they're jacking the prices to us, is what they claim. I seen that on the news. Well, I think it's just about jacking the price to us, period. America's going to go bust if something ain't done, though. People are suffering all over. And that's why I'm thinking about building either an electric motor or putting it in a car. Trouble is, I don't have much experience about the electrical stuff. And I don't want to invest a bunch of money into something that I don't know. It's only what you would say, a trial and error. I want something to work when I'm done with it. I've got to have it in order to get my job done. I have to haul firewood in to heat my house and cabin, and got to have a truck for that for my necessary needs. Well, anyway, if y'all got any ideas or comments about the electric motors or steam engines, I thought about even maybe find out what it costs to get a steam engine cut down to size to fit a truck, and run a steam engine on one of them. But problem is getting the shaft to go the right direction, to pull that truck. You just practically have to put the steam engine on the front of a truck to pull it, and you got to be up there to feed it. Actually, all you would need is a truck bed. You wouldn't need four-wheel drive with a steam engine because it's got a super lot of power to it. Then you could put tracks on it with hydraulic system to lower and drop the tracks down on the ground when you're going across country, or you could raise the tracks and roll on the wheels. I know how to do those kind of things, but it takes money to do it. I mean, it's not impossible. It can be done, these type of things. But For us, the electrical side of stuff, I don't know nothing about electric, and I hate the electric computers and stuff that they got on our cars now. In my book, the only computer I want is on the desktop, or one of those kind that you flip out and look at. It's called a notebook kind. Now that's all right for use for mankind to use, but not to be on your cars, your washers, and your dryers, and every other thing they've stuck that stuff on. You can't fix anything. And so we wind up paying expensive repairs on that stuff. Just like my truck, if it goes down on electrical, I wouldn't be able to afford to pay for it. And I can guarantee you I wouldn't, even if I could, because it's outrageous. It costs you more for the repairs than the truck's worth. I'd shove it up the salesman's butt, quite frankly, where I bought it to. Go back to the loan company, and of course I lose, they lose. But you know, they got insurance, they ain't gonna lose nothing. But they'll harass me around about it if I had to turn the sucker back. You know, and I'm not gonna pay payments on something and then turn around and have to pay big expensive repair bills. Ridiculous. And especially when I got stuck on the interest in the first place. The interest rate was supposed to be an 11.99 and it come out to be 19.49%. So I got the shaft again, but I didn't know it till a month or two later when I got the paperwork finally from the loan company out of Florida. So I was lied to by the car salesman dealership because I can't see small print, and I just assumed that it was going to be 11.99 the way he talked. But I was wrong. That jacked that price up, or I can't afford nothing like that. I got 4 years note, and I've already paid 2 years on this thing, and it's drinking a barrel of gas. It's got probably a 400 horsepower motor in it, 4-wheel drive. It's nice, nice truck. But if the electrical, like I say, and the electrical stuff shorts out or anything, you have to take it for that diagnostic test. They can charge you thousands of dollars, any amount they want anyhow, a pretty good hefty fee. And just for looking at it, not fixing nothing. And I won't pay people to do that just for looking at it. If you're gonna check it for me, you're gonna check it and tell me what it's gonna cost to fix it, and then I'll tell you if I want to fix it or not. Otherwise, it ain't worth it to me. And that's the way I done people whenever I was mechanicking back in the day. I done a little bit of mechanics for people, putting motors in and stuff, and designing stuff for them to. You know, like I was saying, sometimes putting tracks on tractors and different things where they raise and lower and different things with hydraulics. But anyhow, today it's a whole different world. I can't go in the salvage yard and get parts to fit. You know, and back in the 60s, from the 67 to 79, I believe it is, I could almost take anything out of a salvage yard and put it together. Even a Pontiac 69 Catalina will fit up to a 79 Chevrolet pickup front end calipers. Most people might not have known that, but they will, and the wheels and the tires will fit also on there, and you can get by with that stuff. I went into the salvage yard. My uncle, he was a mechanic for many years and sold cars mostly in the later years, and he told me I couldn't put power steering in a truck that never had it and had standard steering, and I changed that out and showed him I could with the adjustment on there and put the power steering pump right on there. Also, I did, let's see, what was it I put in there besides that he didn't think would work? Oh yeah, the 69 Pontiac front end under the front end of that Chevrolet pickup fit just fine. There wasn't nothing to it. But, you know, they just don't know that it'll work. How did I learn how to do that? I wasn't in no school that taught me that. I learned it by trial and error as a poor boy, going out there and checking to see what would fit and what wouldn't. And if it didn't fit, I made it fit. Sometimes I would do some welding, cutting, and balancing on the flywheel to make it work in some cases, depending on what it was. But I was good back in the day. Now I don't call myself a mechanic. Ain't no such thing. I've lost all the skill I ever knew what they have today set up. I can't work on that junk. Electronic stuff all through it. Yeah, you know, if you know I understand electronics, yeah, you probably could do that thing. You could fix it, but I don't understand the electronics on these things. My